In this video, we are breaking down our 5 favorite campgrounds on the east coast of the United States. Welcome to Red, White, and Lagoon. We are a family of 5 humans and 6 dogs living in a 1983 Eagle bus.
We sold our house to hit the road in our 350 square foot home on wheels. Tag along as we show you America through our lens.
So in this video, guys, we're going to break down a campground list, the top 5, our personal top 5 that we've been to. Do something a little different. We've been doing a lot of renovation videos in the bus. Figured we want to give you guys a little something different.
Break it up a little bit. You know, we've been doing a lot of projects, which is great for me for getting him to get stuff done in the bus. So yay! But we want to break it up a little bit and talk about our top 5 favorite campgrounds on the east coast of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, we've been RVing since 2013, so I mean, we've been around a little. We've been fortunate enough to get around and do a little bit of traveling. So we'll jump right into it. Starting off at number 5 was definitely one of mine that I kind of threw in the list, was Normandy Farms in Foxborough, Massachusetts. We went there on our long summer trip about 3-4 summers ago, and we had a blast.
6 summers ago.
Well, 6 summers ago. But Normandy Farms, it's like I say, Foxborough is right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. Beautiful family-owned campground, tons of amenities. It has a huge dog park, which is a big deal for us. Mm-hmm. You hop in your car and you're 10 minutes to the train. You can take it into Boston. Really a nice campground, well manicured. It had like a nice pool area, and it had the eatery there, so it was really a nice place.
Good outdoor spaces,
Yeah.
Nice size lots. Like it was really nice.
Yeah,
I
we really
enjoyed
enjoyed it. That was a really nice campground, you know, and being so adjacent, so convenient to get into Boston really made it nice.
And it was nice because you're just far enough away that it's not super
Right.
congested, but you're close enough to where you can be to the train and go do anything in Boston, which Boston was such a
Yeah, it was a
phenomenal city. That was definitely one of my favorite U.S. cities is Boston.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, number 4 on the countdown is Cherry Hill, which is that in Virginia?
No, it's in, that's a good question. I'm going to put everything, I'm going to put on the bottom, you'll see probably hopefully by now, location and average nightly rates going right now, but it's in Washington, D.C. essentially.
And this was the park that we actually found out we were expecting Eli. Kyle went to take I had not been feeling good, and I was like, oh no, I've had enough kids to know this is not good. And I had him go buy me a test at, I think, the Winn-Dixie down the street. And he came back, and I took the test, and he was taking the trash out, and I'm like, well, I took the test. He's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so yeah, that's when we found out we had Eli. So one reason that's really special for us for that. But the location, it's so close to DC. Once things starts opening up again, it's a great park to go stay at. They had a really nice laundry facilities. If you guys don't have laundry in your rigs, they had really nice laundry facilities, fun pool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very large campground, and it is in a very urban area. I mean, you're right outside of DC. Again, you can hop in your car, a few-minute car ride or a taxi. I believe they even had a free trolley that would take you to the metro station and take you into DC. But Cherry Hill's a great park. I know a lot of people stay there. It's very, I mean, if you're going to visit the DC area, it's very common to stay there. But we really enjoy it. Like I said, the big thing for us, more sentimental, I guess, than most folks. I mean, that's where we found out we're having Eli.
Yeah. Our fun little firecracker that we didn't know we needed.
So moving on to number 3. This one is special to us on a multitude of reasons because it's just a great place. Imagination Mountain in Cosby, Tennessee. We've been several times over the last few years. It originally started, it's a very small campground, but it's all wooded, family owned, a super sweet, down to earth, great family owns it. There's a couple streams running through the park. You're about 15-20 miles from the Gatlinburg and into the Smoky Mountain National Forest.
But right down the street is Carver's Apple House.
Yeah. It's
so
just
good.
kind of our go-to when we go to that part of the country. We really enjoy staying there.
We like to be out of the way of touristy stuff. Like, we don't like to do like the typical tourist stuff. And so this park is just far enough away that you still are in the Smoky Mountains. It's in a mountain. It has a stream
Right.
going through the campground. Beautiful, but you're far enough away to where you're not in the hustle and bustle of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area.
And I tell you one thing that made this a no-brainer for our list is we're from Florida, and I guess 3 or 4 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't know, we had Hurricane Irma come through, and we were like freaking out because they're saying, oh, it's going to come straight through Tampa Bay area. And
Category 5.
So we loaded the trailer. At that time, we had a travel trailer and took off. And on the way, we called them and they said, come on, you're welcome to come, stay as long as you want. And they charged us next to nothing just to come, we were there a week, just to escape the danger. So really nice people, and great little campground. I mean, we actually stayed there in a 42-foot rig, but it is a very small campground. The sites are tight, but like you say, it's got a great pool. I mean, it really is a
They have
nice
tons
place.
of activities.
Yeah,
I mean, every campsite that we've stayed at, minus the pull through with the 42-foot toy
Right.
hauler we had. But they're very easily accessible. They help you back in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good
great
people,
activities.
really good
They have a
people.
soda shop there. They have an arcade. One of my absolute favorite campgrounds.
Yeah,
for
if
that.
we're in the area, we're typically gonna find our way there at some point.
Number 2 on the list. This one is really, really beautiful. It is like a freaking tropical paradise. A few summers ago, we went down to the Keys, and we went down in July because that's what us Bethunes do. We don't do anything like everybody else. Basically, our faces melted off.
So hot.
However, we stayed at Bluewater Key. This is such a nice little resort. Each of the slots are independently owned, right?
Yeah, I believe they're all privately owned.
But ours was on the canal. They have beach sites, and then they have the pretty water
Yeah,
sites, and then they have the canal.
right.
And ours was on the canal. It had a tiki hut in the back. It had an outdoor fridge. It had a bar area in your site. And it is a little pricey, but for a fun, splurge, maybe
Yeah.
not a full-time spot that you're gonna stay at all the time, it had wonderful little open area for the dogs, nice little pool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we kayaked all up and down the canal and everywhere, and it was a fun park.
Yeah, I mean, Bluewater Key is definitely on the list because you're not likely going to find a more beautiful park in the Florida Keys. I mean, and they're known for that. Like I say, it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. There's some myth with them that you're not allowed to bring older rigs in there, and or you have to have a certain standard of rig. And that wasn't the case, and I don't believe that's the case. We had at the time we had a 28-foot travel trailer, and it was no problem. I think their only limitation is it has to be self-contained. It can't be a truck camper. But other than that, I don't think they're too picky. But it is an absolutely beautiful spot. I don't know if she said it was in Cudjoe Key. I mean, you're only about 15-20 minutes into Key West,
Yeah.
but you're still far enough out that you're not around the craziness that is Key West.
Especially if you have kids
Yeah.
and you want a nice park that isn't right in Key West. And I mean, when we wanted to go in, we would just drive in and park, and it wasn't that bad to stay that far out.
I know it's perfect, honestly, because you're fairly close to Marathon and Bahia Honda, and then you're real close to Key West. Beautiful park, great location. I highly recommend if you want to splurge and you're going to Key West to check them out. I mean,
Yeah.
they really are great. Moving on to number 1.
Well, should we do the bonus first? We do number 1.
Let's do number 1.
All right.
Number 1, if anybody that knows us well or has been watching this channel since the beginning probably figured this would be on the list, which is Disney's Fort Wilderness in Walt Disney World Resort, Orlando.
Yep. It's my favorite. It's the first one we ever camped at.
Yeah,
I
our
believe.
first RV experience.
We will put a picture up right here showing you our first RV that we had, and it spoiled me. Kyle said that it would, and it did, because that was the first campground that we ever stayed at, and it's just a fun family atmosphere. Even if you don't have kids, it's still a blast. This past time, we'll put a card up here. We'll link to me and Molly's kayaking video. Woo!
Well,
We're just gonna cut that out.
probably not.
Yes, we are. The grass is unstable. We wanted to give you guys a pretty view. But we'll link the kayaking video of me and Molly where a lizard jumped on her and she about flipped the canoe. However, it's a great campground, wonderful pool area, activities for the kids. They have horseback riding. Like, you can stay there and not even go to the Disney parks. There's just that much stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean, Disney, when it comes to hospitality, they're the best in the world. They're the best at what they do, and that rings true for Fort Wilderness as well. Again, like our number 2 on the list, this park is not cheap. This is the most expensive one. I'm not gonna say by far, because Bluewater Key and Disney are probably pretty close, but Disney is not cheap. But it's Disney, and you can't really go to Disney expecting things to be cheap. But like she said, there's so many activities within the campground. There, you got a boat that you can go to Magic Kingdom. You got the bus service. It's just, nobody does it like Disney does.
No.
They just, the sites are fantastic. They got 2 or 3 options on, you have, premium and just standard, but it's a huge part. It's a huge campground. I mean, most folks have golf carts. They also rent golf carts, but you can also bike. But
we did bikes last time.
Yeah, which is fine. But like she said, it has a great pool, water slide. I mean, it's the way you would expect Disney to do things.
Yeah, and like I said, if you don't want to go to the parks, you don't have to. You don't even have to have kids to go to Fort Wilderness. There is something for everybody that is there.
Yeah, especially if you go during the Christmas season, they really go. A lot of the people go. They book the site.
And Halloween.
They decorate the sites and do all kind of crazy stuff. It's just one of them parks. It's definitely commercial. It's completely commercialized. But if you want, it's just worth experiencing. If you've never done it, and you're in that part of the state, it's definitely worth checking out if you're able to get a site. So we had one more bonus that we wanted to throw on the list. We number 6 or / bonus would be Red Gate Campground in Savannah, Georgia.
Yep, it was this campground. We only stayed for a couple of days. The whole point that Kyle wanted to stay in Savannah, he wanted to go see the Savannah Bananas, which is a summer league college baseball team. And they play in the Coastal Plains League?
Coastal Plains League.
Ooh, I remember that.
Yeah,
but I was like, who the hell are the Savannah Bananas? Like, what in the world? So we ended up going. Best baseball game of my life. It was just so entertaining. They have the banana nanas, which are grandmas that are cheerleaders for the team. I mean, it was a great experience. If you are in Savannah, definitely catch the Savannah Bananas during the summer. A lot of fun. But at this particular campground, we had pulled in kind of late, and we got kind of an odd little spot. And one night that we were there, we wanted to go fishing. So we get our gear, head down to the dock. Well, there's a playground that's right behind the dock. And so Eli and Ben were on the playground. I'm fishing, because fishing, I love to fish. I will sit there for hours and fish. So I had just cast my pole. Kyle's helping Molly cast her pole into the water. And all of a sudden, we just hear screaming. And Eli runs down the dock and runs straight headfirst into the water. Well, he can't swim. So I'm holding my pole, and I'm like, and Kyle's like, well, I guess I'll get him. So then he jumps in the water, saves the kid from drowning. Turns out he got bit on the ear by a Canadian goose because he wanted to pet the goose. Needless to say, he doesn't pet any more geese, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, Savannah, we're both from the South, but we had never been there before, never experienced Savannah. And Savannah's a great small southern town, tons of history. And just to speak on Red Gate, it's kind of a farm / campground / event venue. Really beautiful area. You're just a short 10-minute drive into the city of Savannah. Very spread out. I mean, they gave us some almost random spot, kind of in a road almost,
yeah.
but it wasn't, which was fine because we were kind of last minute as we usually are. Really neat little campground. We really enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll stay there again, but Savannah is just a great all-around town to visit if you ever get the chance.
No, it was a lot of fun. Definitely one of my top places that we've been to. I would highly recommend doing a trolley tour.
Right.
I know we don't do a whole lot of touristy stuff, but doing the Old Town trolley tours that they have, we did one in Key West, we did the Conch train.
And they actually will pick you up at the campground.
Yeah, they pick you up at the campground, you start your tour and everything, because you learn so much more about the city, and then you can kind of hop on, hop off, or you can go back the next day and say, okay, well, we learned about this. Let's go like look at something more in depth. And even the kids had a good time. I mean, they were good. Theodore was hanging out, and I mean,
it's a really neat town. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as we did. We actually ended up going back about a month or two later to another ball game and just kind of spent a couple weekend days there and really enjoyed the downtown area. But that's going to wrap up our top 5 lists. Well, 6, but
5 and a bonus.
you know, we've been very fortunate. We've gotten to visit some great places. This is just a scratch of the surface, but this is something that's really stuck out in our heads. That's been memorable. And you know, if you guys share some that you've been to,
yeah, where should we go? I mean, as soon as we wrap up our solar and kind of get a handle on the quarantine stuff and where it's all going, we're hitting the road. So where should our first stop be?
Yeah, we're definitely going to venture more into the state parks and national parks camping, which we really want to. We've kind of designed our bus to be able to do that a little better. But like I say, we've been fortunate. These campgrounds are great. We'd love for you to check them out. We'll put links to their websites in the description below. We just want to give you guys a different video. We've been doing kind of the same thing for a while, as a lot of people have.
And the good thing is, in each of these parks, we've almost had a different rig every time we've been there. We've had everything from, like Kyle said, 42-foot toy hauler to our 28-foot travel trailer, and kind of everything in between.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter what you're in, as long as you're there and you're enjoying the camping experience. You know, I try not to get caught up in what you're camping in, whether it's a $2 million bus or a tent. You know, as long as you're camping, enjoying your time. But this is a good list. If you're ever in these areas, I definitely recommend checking these parks out. And as you can see, we're here on Thursday. Like we told you in the last video, we're going to mix it up a little bit as far as our posting days. But once Sunday's going to remain the same. We're trying Thursday this week, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But thank you guys, as always, for tuning into us. We appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. This is a crazy dream of ours, to be able to take our kids and travel the country and live this nomad lifestyle. And thank you so much for coming along with us and doing it with us.
As always, guys, we appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see more, just go and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.